I just ask how you're doing?
Yeah, I guess that works. Even
Okay.
though the whole episode, well, I guess the whole episode isn't about how I'm doing,
No. It's about what you're doing. Am I
about
right?
what I'm doing. Yeah,
It's about what your point of doing.
everyone asks
Okay.
what
Yes.
you're doing.
It's
Nobody asks
always
how you're doing. I don't know. That was dumb.
exactly.
That was dumb. I'm dumb. Oh my god, is it Time King? Has it ever
No.
been time?
It's been time. It's been time.
I don't know if we've ever.
It's time right
I
now.
guess it's been time. Is it time right now?
Mm-hmm.
This episode? It's time.
Yes. How are you doing? I feel like that's a leading question.
I've had a really long I had a really long day. Like I expected to be in the office today till about 2, and I ended up being there till 5, which is fine. That's like a normal day, but
You were
when
needed
you have I guess I was needed in that space.
in
But
that space.
when you think you're going to get out early and then you're there for the full time, it makes you a little sad, you know?
That's
Like
very funny that you mention it because I thought I was getting out early yesterday and I didn't. So
you didn't.
yes,
Why were
I
you
was
getting
needed
out
in
early?
that space. We'll get to that.
Okay. Yeah.
That's my
So
intro.
I'm tired, and then I had another meeting tonight, and so I don't know. I'm just tired. I feel like I'm always tired. Maybe that says something about me. Maybe it says something about our world. Maybe it says something about my life. I don't know,
Yeah.
Nick. What is it saying?
It's saying H. Um, all right.
I like our new ad. Nick,
I do too.
Nick, you big cherry, or what? No, like
Yeah.
you say,
No,
Justin,
I'm like
you
Justin,
big
you big
pineapple.
pineapple.
And what do I say?
We're halfway. We're almost to 50 episodes.
What do no? And then
And then you say King of the Cherries.
Nick, King of the Cherries.
This is what you do.
This is
We've heard the good news.
We've
All right,
heard
so
the
the
good
episode's
news.
over. This is what he does.
this is what he
Goodbye.
does. Yes. So that's how I'm doing. I thought I was getting out of work early. I did not get out of work early, which is fine. You know, make some extra money and stuff.
We love that.
Yeah. And then I had a meeting, and I'm here, and I'm tired. But you know, I'm always tired, so that's nothing new. How are you, Nick?
Yeah. I'm
How
good.
do
I
you
made a
enter
new.
this space, if you will?
I made a new friend. Well, I entered this space terribly, but I made a new friend this week. Honestly.
Oh.
Yes.
From where? Who are they?
That's not important. But her name is Donna. She's
Okay.
kind of an icon.
Okay.
We love that. She also comes on 4 wheels.
Ah! You
The
got
name
your
of the-
car, and you named
I got my car.
her Donna. Where'd that come
Which is
from?
very interesting. Yeah, so
Okay.
I was going to name her something stupid because I was like, I think it would have been funny to be like, this is Britney, bitch. But Jordan, my sister, when I brought it home, was like, this looks like a Donna. And I was like, you're right. And none of the other names had felt right.
What were the
and-
other names in contention? Not in
I can't
contention,
say them
yeah.
in public or out loud. They're
What?
not appropriate.
They're
not appropriate.
All of the stuff that we've put on here, and you're not going to say the other names?
Yeah, I'm not about to be canceled, but I was like, wait, that's good because when I was a kid, I had a strange obsession with the public school bus system in Marshfield. Like, I knew
Like how obsessed?
I knew the names of the other drivers that I didn't have
Oh.
and had never met, and I knew like which driver drove which bus number and like when a certain number was broken down.
And how
It was
many
just
kids
weird.
they had?
No, I didn't know that. But bus 27, my first school bus driver was Donna. And not only did I like idolize her, I pretended to be her. I was a strange kid. I had my sister out in the cul-de-sac outside on our scooters, but what we played was bus. So I, of course, was Donna. And I would literally write the number on the scooter. Like, I was wild. And before it was scooters, it was those, those Jeeps, the like plastic Jeeps that have the battery that you can drive
Yes.
in.
Fun
was
fact,
those.
my sister didn't have a Jeep. She had a Corvette because, you know.
I love that.
Ashley.
Yeah, I was gonna say that fits.
Yeah.
That fits. I hear you had a golf cart. Is that right?
No, well.
I'm kidding.
I almost, yeah. That story. Listen to the Mother's Day episode. Episode number.
Are you waiting for me to say it?
Yeah,
36.
because I have no idea. 36.
All right, it's 36. But yes, I got my car today, actually. Um, I love it. It is a 2022 Crosstrek Premium. The color is gray. I'm not sure the official name of the color. But yes, it now has a
Do you have a
Loyola L
photo?
on the back
I
of
want
it.
to see a photo.
I can send you one
Can I
after.
meet her in person?
Yeah, you will absolutely meet. I think we should record in her. I'm serious. I think we should.
Did you hear yourself?
Yeah. I think we should do like a road trip. I'm not even joking.
Yeah, I think we should do a car trip episode, road trip episode, just generally.
Well,
Like, we
yeah.
make it live, honestly. We could record
No.
it and make it live.
No, because
We could do
what if we
both.
die?
Well, that's...
and then
well,
people
we
have to
wouldn't.
watch that.
We could just put, like... You know how they put, like, GoPros mounted on the windshields?
Yeah,
And, like,
true.
we could just... Dan
Well,
could control it from... This is really ambitious. We have a small budget.
I'm not gonna lie though. Part of my ideas when we were like brainstorming for what this topic would be today, I was like, well, I should just like contact Mrs. Dew. Shout out Mrs. Dew. She gets a shout out most episodes. There it is. And be like, what's Justin doing today? I was just gonna come surprise you, like kidnap you basically, and be like, we're recording the episode in my car.
That would have been fun.
Drive. Yeah, but I didn't know what time I was
vlogs.
gonna get out. Yeah, I didn't know what time I was gonna get out from the dealership. But the whole reason to now say why I was supposed to get out early, my supervisor, I'm not going to go there. I was supposed to go get my car at 4, so I took a shorter lunch. And instead, well, I did that. I took the shorter lunch. I was like, all right, I'm getting out at 4. And then the car dealership said it wouldn't be ready until today. So that was pretty H. So I got out early today.
After making you wait months, they made you wait another day? That's dumb.
Yeah. I met her for the first time on Friday.
Is her name Donna?
Yes, her name is actually Donna.
I strangely enough also, I guess it's not strange, I also know my bus driver's name from when I was younger.
Yeah, I was devastated too.
Her name was Cheryl.
Wait, that's funny because we had one of the like office women who worked in the office ride the bus with us in kindergarten, and I would want to sit next to her each day. Like I sat next to her and talked to her, not with like other kids my age. I sat next to Cheryl. Iconic, really, but
I feel like those names are very generational. Like they're not
they are,
really
which is great.
They're not babies born nowadays named Donna or Cheryl or
right.
like, Winifred or like, names.
That's what I feel about my dad's name. I'm like, no one looks at a baby and is like, Gary. You just were born a 50-something year. You were born
Gary. Is that his full name or is it short for something?
No, it's Gary.
Gary.
A lot of people at work think it's Greg. He's been called Greg his entire life by people incorrectly.
It's Gary, but short for Greg, which is the same number of letters.
But I guess that's what they think.
What their
I don't
logic
know.
Is?
No, I think they just forget that it's Gary and think it's Greg. I feel like Greg is more common than Gary. But anyways,
I also just before we even dive further into the episode with like the meat and potatoes, I am convinced, and honestly, I could probably be proven wrong. I guess I'm not that convinced, but like most names can, if you add like a thin to the end of them, work. Like Gary-a-thin. Justin-a-thin. Like that, like Justin, short for just
Nick-a-thin.
Yeah.
Nicholas-a-thin.
Nicholas-a-thin. Yeah. You can have a lot of fun with those. Yeah. Yeah. Pointed like do-a-thin. I don't know. That's
Point of do-a-thin.
Point of do-a-hin. There's our title.
I was gonna say that might be it. That might be it. But I'm grateful for my car. Honestly, I'm very happy. And I want to drive this. I've said this before. I want to drive this for at least 10 years and like literally have kids while I own this car. Notice I didn't say have kids in this car. That's how I used to say it.
Even though you said you wanted to record in her.
No. So yes, I'm grateful for my car, and what are you grateful for?
I am grateful for my job. Yeah, I'm grateful for my job. I've been doing a lot of in-person stuff. I'm not going to get into it, but it's been nice. It's been nice to be going and doing things and talking to patients and parents and families and all that stuff. and that's been good. I like that. I also like the fact, that thing that you get when you work called money. I also like, having an income, and I'm fortunate.
What's that like? I don't have any anymore.
You have well, no, well, did
car.
you just hand it over? Did you pay in cash? Ooh.
No, well, a check, but yeah, my savings.
I was gonna say, did you just like have the suitcase and it's like, is this everything you wanted? Like, is it the right amount?
Like, no deal.
Yeah.
And with that, on to the episode. So today, yes. So today we thought it would be fun to go through a day in the life of each of us and this is going to be pretty unfiltered because I think that's what makes it interesting.
Side thing, I think if we do how we did episode 23, we did a mashup. Yes. I think we could do a mashups of all of yours. So today.
Oh, we could.
That was.
So today's interruption.
I interrupted your flow.
I was going to say, today's interruption doesn't come from my family, but from Justin Dew of Point of Dew fame.
Here I am.
Yes.
I almost introduced myself to someone like that the other day.
I would have paid to see that. But
that would have been pretentious.
Whatever. So we're going to go through.
I'll let you finish.
Yeah, thank you. We're going to go through what we do in a day, because I think it's pretty interesting, honestly, to find to learn what people do who you could be best friends with them, but you don't necessarily know what they do like when you're not around. You know what I mean? Just like the mundane things in life, like how do you brush your teeth? You know what I mean? Like, when do you brush your teeth? When do you wake up? What are the habits you fall into without even realizing it? So I'm excited to dive into this episode. Do you want me to start? Do you want me to go first?
I would like you to start because I want to see. Yeah.
Okay.
Guide me through this.
Okay.
Yeah.
Guys, I'm going to guide him through this.
Take me by the hand and just guide me through this. Okay. Anyway.
So cry tonight, but don't you let go of my hand. That was Lady Gaga, circa 2022. And not circa. I hate when people say circa, but they know the date. That's not what circa means. Circa means around. Anyways.
What is that, a Latin thing?
Yeah. But people will say like, oh, I took this picture circa 2022. It's like, no, you took it in 2022. Relax. Anyways, so I introduced Donna. Check. I start my day by waking up at 6:55 in the morning, precisely, because I know myself and I plan for those 5 minutes where I say I'm going to get up, but I don't. But clearly I don't know myself that well because I end up getting out of bed like 25 minutes after that. What time do you get up?
So if I know I have to leave the house, I have the timing of getting ready down to a science. So if I have to leave the house, say at like 8, I set an alarm for 6:50.
Okay.
And my alarm snoozes for 10 minutes, and I'll do approximately one snooze. Not approximately, exactly one snooze, and then I will wake up an hour, and I only need an hour to get ready and out of the house.
That's good. That's fair. I have to be out of the house by like 7:40. It's usually 7:50. I'm not gonna lie.
Sure.
But so I get up at 6:55, which is like an hour, a little bit less. Not enough time really, but I'm not getting up before 6:55. Sorry. I snooze the alarm until like sometimes 7:15. But like I don't do much in the morning. I shower. That's like my main thing. I don't eat breakfast.
What time does the alarm initially set for?
6:55. But then I have literally 25 like literally by the like 10-minute intervals.
Separate alarms.
And they go until like 10:30 for fear that I'm going to oversleep and miss work, which has never happened. But
Yeah.
there's always tomorrow, so that's why the alarms are still there. And then I'll get to work. It's funny because I'll get to work and the alarms will still be going off, and I'll be like, I'm up and I'm here.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, so the first thing that I usually do when I like open my eyes is go on my phone, which is not healthy, especially when I was in the thick of like my mental health issues. Um, it definitely made them 10 times harder being in bed, opening your eyes first thing, and you're on your phone.
Going on your phone.
Yeah, so I try.
I budget that into my hour.
Do you really?
I do.
So yeah, so it's
Yeah.
hard not to. I feel like the easiest thing to do is to go on your phone in the morning, like, and I feel like that's probably the most common thing to do.
Yeah. Well, for me, the first thing I do is I do my one snooze. I sleep for 10 more minutes. I
Exactly.
wake up,
One
turn
snooze.
my alarm off. Exactly one snooze. I don't know why. I mean, this is during my regular routine. If I'm sleeping like in a hotel or somewhere else, like that's
The one snooze.
yeah.
But
but there's the one snooze, and then the first thing I do is your morning pee. You have to,
oh my gosh, I didn't even factor that in. So okay, so let me back up. If I'm having a good day, I replace the whole phone thing with making my bed, and we've talked about this before. I feel like making your bed is like
right away.
you have literally before I even pee.
Yeah.
But I didn't factor in the pee, but I factored in something else. I we'll get
I'm
there.
scared.
But
Okay.
you should be. I make my bed and it's like, okay, I've accomplished one thing, and then I go. That's when I go into the bathroom and shut the door and turn the shower on, and I heat up the water, and then I promptly proceed to sit on the toilet and take a big one, which is actually how Elvis Presley died. He died taking a big one on the toilet. Anyways,
Did you
I just
see
saw the
the
Elvis
new movie? I was gonna
Yes,
say.
yeah. That's why it's fresh in my brain.
I see.
But it's
Okay.
not probably. It is terrible for the environment, but it keeps me happy. So
It's your routine.
it's my routine, and
That's not justifying it, but it is.
it's not justifying it,
it's
and I'm
just
being open and honest
Opening
about
and
it.
honest. Yeah, that's
It's not
important.
good.
Yeah.
We'll get better.
Yeah. Are you a person that leaves the sink on when you brush your teeth?
No,
Okay.
no, I don't do that.
Yeah, no, me neither.
Look, I'm making up for things.
There was
already.
a Michael Phelps infomercial, and after that, I just.
God, I love Michael Phelps. I've heard he wasn't the best when he worked out at Loyola's gym. Fun fact, everyone. But anyways, I sit on the toilet while the water's running because it like makes the bathroom steamy and it feels good, and it like the shower is my happy place.
Mhm.
And then I go in the shower, and honestly, I'm not gonna lie to you. By the time that like these 15 minutes, 25 minutes have transpired, I've probably listened to like 6 songs. Do you have your music on like when you throughout the day? Because there's rarely a time I'm not listening to music.
Wow, that's interesting. No, it's funny. The only time that I'm listening to music is when I'm working out lately. Like even in the car, I've been listening to more talk radio or podcasts than I am listening to music. Which that I feel like that's. I mean, I should listen to more music. Music is good. Music makes.
I
me
love
happy.
me. I literally, you know who I've been playing a bunch of recently? Ava Max, specifically "My Head and My Heart." That song is great. It samples a song from like the early 2000s, I think. It might be a Daft Punk song. I'm not 100% sure. But it's really really good. And I just saw her at Kiss concert. And she did that song. She did Kings and Queens. She did Sweet But Psycho. She did.
She
I don't know, a
opened for
couple of
Maroon
others.
5 in September.
Did she really?
Mhm.
Did you
Yeah.
see them?
Yeah.
Oh, so you saw?
I think I said it on the show. Did I? Maybe. I
You
didn't. I don't
probably
know.
did, but
I think
we've
I
done.
did way back when, way in September.
Yeah, this is episode 44, so.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
my mom. Maroon 5 is my mom's favorite band. She loves Adam Levine and is in love with Adam Levine. And my dad was out of town, and she brought my sister and myself and her best friend, and Ava Max led it, and it was at Fenway, and it was a lot of fun.
Wow. She did a great job, and the bass in the songs was just great.
Did you
The
feel it in your
Chainsmokers.
chest? You ever
Yes,
feel
I
it?
did.
Yeah.
The Chainsmokers were the main act, or they were like the headliners, and they did a really good job. But on principle, I don't like them because they said "Perfect Illusion" was a bad song when Lady Gaga released it in 2016. And then Halsey, who was working with them at the time on the song "Closer," denounced their opinion as objectively wrong. We love Halsey. I got off topic. We were talking
You were
about...
talking about you listen to music all the time. You've listened to
Yes.
6 songs by the time. Is your alarm a song or is it chimes? I feel like that's
No,
something
it's the...
yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
you know.
I don't have
So,
an iPhone, but I know that. I know the
but
sound.
you know it, yeah.
Something
The other
something
one...
kind of cool that my phone does that I learned, or I think it started doing it in a software update. I have a Google Pixel 6. Is it when it knows my alarm is coming up, it mimics the sun rising, so it
That's
wakes
cool.
so it like wakes me up a little bit before the alarm goes off.
That's
And
cool.
it's actually helped a lot. Like my room gets a little bit brighter, and it just like all the colors of a sunrise it mimics, and it goes up the screen a little bit slowly, and then by the time the alarm goes off, the whole phone is like all sun. I don't know what's the word. Warm colors. Yeah, warm colors.
That's cool.
I was gonna say like an auburn-ish.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, so you have a relaxing morning, it sounds like. I get out of the shower and scramble for my keys, wallet, phone, everything, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm never going to do this again. I'm always going to have my stuff ready the night before. It's a lie. And then I, for lack of a better term, fly down the freeway. No, I don't actually do that. I'm a very safe and slow driver, to be honest with you. But speaking of that, I just bought AirTags, 5 AirTags. I'm gonna put one of my new car keys, one of my AirPods, I bought a wallet that holds an AirTag, an Apple AirTag, so I can track it and play like hot and cold and be like, oh, you're getting warmer, blah blah blah. Anyways, that's beside the point. So you said you leave by 8?
Well, it depends on the day. Like if I'm working for the furniture bank, yes, I leave by 8. Like oftentimes I'm remote for the hospital, so I
Right.
Don't have to leave. I just wake up 10 minutes before I need to clock in, clock in. But if I'm working for the furniture bank, yeah, I leave at 8. I don't make myself breakfast because I'm exhausted and not normally a morning person. Instead, my morning routine, which is like extremely bad and is outing me out as a Massachusettsan, I
Drive without your blinker.
I'm
kidding.
I order Dunkin' on the app.
Mm.
I get a bacon, egg, and cheese on a sesame bagel with a side order of hash browns, and I don't rely on coffee. Coffee is like a luxury drink if I ever get it. It's not like something I like need in the morning.
Right.
So I get a bottle of apple juice, and I sit in the Dunkin' parking lot. I go through. I get it. Go through the drive-through. I sit in the Dunkin' parking lot. I turn the engine off in my car, and I listen to NPR. And as I
what
eat
an
my
exhilarating
bagel
morning.
As I eat my
and your
bagel
apple
sandwich
juice.
and my apple juice and my hash browns, and I listen to the news of the day because I'm that person.
I just get my news from Gaga Daily. I will say that's where I learned that Travis Barker's appendix is it his appendix? I don't know. Something. He's in the hospital.
I don't follow Gaga Daily or have.
Well, no, but they have a bunch of different like you'll find
entertainment news. I guess I'm not in
everything.
the know with this.
No, everything. I think that's legitimately like where I learned about the Ukraine Russia
from Gaga
crisis.
Daily.
Probably because people just it's like a forum, so people just post like there's a news section. It's funny
because we got DM'd after the last episode about social media about what social media platform people get their news from mostly.
I feel like that's probably Twitter.
I don't have a Twitter, but I get it mostly from Instagram.
Interesting.
Because I follow like news accounts, Just me.
Yeah.
I'm the only follower of all news accounts.
No, but that's interesting. So my like morning car routine, I don't stop for. Sometimes I'll stop for gas, but I don't get like Dunkin' Donuts.
What do you do for
Dunkin'
breakfast?
now.
Do you eat it?
Nope.
Ever?
I live a healthy lifestyle.
You never get breakfast?
Never.
Really? Wow.
Yep.
I have to. My sugar will go
it's
low, and I will just pass out.
It's probably why I'm mentally ill, but what I do, this is like a little tidbit about me, is I make set lists of like concerts of artists that like pick like any artist I like and like try and come up with like the best greatest hits set list, or the most like realistic greatest hits set list, or even like for a certain album. And I will listen to those, and I'll like basically like play the concert in my head that doesn't actually exist.
And you'll do this on your drive? You won't make.
No,
the
I don't
set
like
list
make
while
the set
you're
list.
driving.
No,
you'll listen to it. Okay.
I'll do it where I have a notes. I have a note in my notes app that has like just a bunch of different ones. Tom, not to out him, but actually does the same thing, and we didn't know that we did it. Like we never, we both were just like, wow, you do that too? Like it's a very obscure thing to do.
Yeah.
So he leaned over to me when we went to Elvis together. I went with him and his girlfriend. And he leaned over and was like, how's the set list coming? And I was like, actually pretty horribly, I'm not gonna lie. It was for the band Why Don't We? They're all very nice gentlemen.
I don't know if I've heard of them.
You should. But yeah, so that's what I do, and then I get to work and I do my job. But I'm interested to know like what you do at work, because like I feel like people don't know what I do specifically. Like, and I'm like, oh, I'm like, do you know what a marketing coordinator does? You might. Maybe I'm transparent.
Well, I what I do know is from like the calendar of events that you're planned, like in campus ministry when you worked as the project manager, you had like calendars going months in advance planning projects. I did do that. I want to reverse the question afterwards, but I think
I want to answer that too.
You manage their social media platforms, or are part of a team that manages their social media platforms. You might do some graphic designing.
I do that.
You come up with strategies to target specific audiences.
I sometimes do that.
Some of that.
I do that on a small scale, and I'll get into that, but whatever.
Yeah.
You're kind of hitting it.
Am I? I don't know. Yeah. What am I missing? Fill in the gaps.
I can answer. I was going to ask you... Well, I was going to tell you what I think you do first, because I don't have a good answer. But, I basically... because I market... because I market for a bank, I update frequently the rates for mortgage loans, for home loans on the flyers, and then I have to send them out to, well, first I send them out to compliance, and then I send them to all the loan officers. I schedule social media posts, which you said. I draft them, like we schedule them. We try and schedule them out for the month, but that fluctuates. I create the graphics for them, create flyer graphics. I also, at this specific bank that I work at, marketing handles the charitable foundation and the sponsorships, the bank donations. So I record any of them that come in, get the folder and the agenda ready for the monthly meeting, and then I process the approvals and the passes, I guess we'll call them. I don't know what else to call them. I then pray on my downfall.
Is that part of your morning routine or your afternoon routine?
I do it all. Routine? I do it 3 times a day. I create screen. One of our branches has screens that like rotate, kind of like the Loyola one. So I do that.
Like tickers
no, the screens with like the advertisements. I do that.
Like TV monitors that change like digital signage.
Yes, that is what I do. Digital signage on sign.io. And I make updates to the website, so that type of stuff. What I think you do.
Yeah, what?
I
so
don't know. I feel like it's a lot of
research assistant. Well, I guess do both my jobs. So I guess you know what I do at the furniture bank. But yes, I'm a researcher. My full title is clinical research assistant 1.
Okay, so is that because there are multiple of you, or is that a different role than number 2?
It's a different role from number 2, not necessarily in responsibilities, more so in terms of pay grade and seniority. So
okay,
number 1 is the lower pay grade and the not as senior. Number 2, when you get promoted, you can get 2, and you
get this man a number 2 now.
Someone get me
now.
Yes. So what do I do? Let me know.
I think you research, is it brain stuff? I don't know what, you've said it once. Brain stuff. I know you prepare reports for people, right? I know you did that once at least. Like a presentation type thing, like with your supervisor?
Yeah, that was
Without going
that
into
you
detail.
you might be referring to when we were preparing for a conference. Is that when you
Yes.
were? Yeah.
Yes, that is what. Yeah.
Yeah.
And did you have to present on it too?
Yes, I did present on that at the conference, which was really cool. Now that's on my
King of
CV and my resume.
yeah, king of presenting at the conference and it being really cool, and now it's on your CV and your resume. I also I know you've like spoken with patients recently because you just said it at the beginning of the episode. See, guys, I'm not that good. I just I remember things that have happened less than 30 minutes ago. Um, yeah, I don't know what else you do though. Like
I
I know
research
you
brain
like
things. I prepare reports and I
yeah,
talk to
it has
patients.
to do with children, right? Because it's children's hospital, so like pediatric stuff,
Yep, yep.
all of that.
That's
We love that.
yeah, yeah. Your context clues are really good. Yeah, those are.
What can I say? What can I say? It's
deductive,
like I do the job
deductive
myself.
reasoning. Yeah, look,
It's
you
like
could
I do
be
the job
just
myself.
clinical research assistant zero.
No, someone give me this too.
Is that where you get the two? Yeah, and the two and the one and the two, it's a Roman numeral, so it's fancy.
Of course.
Yeah,
Of course.
yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want to hear what I
So
actually
what
do?
do you do? Yeah, not what I just said.
So, what do I do? A lot of what I do is data management and handling databases, and for those in science. So, basically, if you're doing research at a university or if you're doing any research, you have to get things, a protocol or any idea for a research project has to go through what's called an IRB or an institutional review board. Basically, that's part of the ethics committee and make sure that your study, especially clinical research, also for research that's done in labs and stuff, but for clinical research, which involves humans and people and patients, you have to get your protocol passed and approved by the institutional review board. So I prepare a lot of if a new study is being thought about. I draft a lot of the IRB proposals before they get approval. I do a lot of grant applications looking for money for support to fund different studies that we do. And then there's something called biofeedback, which is that's something that my supervisor does, and a lot of different psychophysiologists do it. And honestly, I could probably do an Academy episode on that, maybe. But
You should. I mean, I do it in my marketing job, so no.
biofeedback, yeah,
Yeah.
Well, it's related to mindfulness. I'm sure you do mindfulness. Maybe.
No.
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 Off the clock. Off the clock.
Off the clock.
Yeah, and then that patient side of things is well, before I get the patient side, I also do like literature reviews. So I look for gaps in the literature on different topics. So I work in what's called the balance and vestibular program. So it's patients who come in are experiencing chronic dizziness or chronic vertigo or different things that involve that affect your balance, and so I look into the literature in those fields, and I see, okay, where are there gaps, and I can suggest to my supervisors and my bosses, maybe we should do research on this, maybe we should do research on that. Or sometimes they'll come to me and say, we wanted to research on this, can you do a literature review and see if there's anything out there? And then when I talk to patients, basically what that is doing is I'm recruiting patients to be part of studies. So I'm giving them informed consent, and I'm letting them know this is what I'm obtaining their informed consent to be a part of study. I'm letting them know this is what the study does. Here are the risks. Here are the benefits. Here's how much time it will take. Here's who's conducting the study. Here's why we're conducting the study. And if they want to participate, then I have them sign a couple forms, and then I run, depending on what the study is, I either guide them through the study or I get them prepared for the next steps if someone of a higher pay grade and a higher education level needs to run them through the study. But
Number 2.
yeah, or doctor,
Or a doctor,
call your doctor to see if point of due is right for you.
Oh, it's right for you. You know what else is right for you? Sweating profusely while you record an episode, because it is like 90 degrees up here.
It's hot in here too. I don't know why.
Yeah, I turned the AC on, but it was really loud, so I'm suffering for our
your
listeners.
amusement.
Yeah.
For audio quality. That's what I do.
Audio quality.
Did that surprise you at all?
What, audio quality?
No.
Oh, that's what you do. Oh,
what I
yeah.
said.
Yeah, no, you sound really smart. It's
I'm a lot smarter than I sound, I think. I might sound smart, but I feel like I feel like oftentimes I come off as dumb. I don't know. Is it Time King? I think.
Yeah, I was gonna say. So for those of you that don't know what time
not
is,
dumb. I just feel like. Yeah.
For those of you that don't know what time is, we're not gonna tell you. I think
Context clues.
Yeah. No, I think you sounded really smart. And to be honest, like that's what I thought. I spoke it in dumb words. In dumb words. That was so intelligent. I didn't know. I mean, I said brain stuff, but like that sounds like the brain to me. Balance. You know?
Well, I feel like both of us described each other's jobs in layperson's terms, in terms that someone who doesn't do that type of work would describe it as.
Right. Well, to be honest, you did a better job than me, but that's beside the point. When do you pray on your downfall?
Oh, I make time for that at 10:02 every morning.
I love that. We should do it together sometime.
Yeah. It's nice because it's when I go into the hospital. It's nice because the hospital has like an interfaith prayer space, and it's just.
I love that. We love interfaith. We were like trained in like interfaith inclusion. Is that the right word? Not professionally trained, but we have a lot of like. We do have interfaith training.
Yeah, we do. We've attended a handful of formation. Sessions.
And training at the beginning of the year.
Well, I consider those formation. Yeah, I included those.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, ladies. Now let's get in formation.
Let's skip to lunch. Do you have?
Okay. Well, that's my next thing. Yes, okay, I do. Yeah. I don't have a specific time, which is great. I get to pick when I go to lunch.
Okay.
I have an hour. Yeah, I have an hour for lunch. Yeah, I mean, I can't just like miss a meeting, but.
I've decided. I know I was scheduled for this meeting, but I've decided it's time for lunch.
Yeah, so I can't do that. But I eat lunch in my car, which sounds really sad. Which sounds sad, but a lot of people.
Donna's quality time.
Well, okay, so that's the thing. Donna will never see food. But
no more. Tomorrow, no more lunch in the car.
Tomorrow, yeah, we're going straight for the cafeteria, which I do. It's like not a cafeteria, it's like a little lunchroom, and I've eaten there too. But usually I'll like listen to music like while I'm in my car, or watch a show, or do ERP. That's another thing. Or if it's Tuesday, I do therapy. So
there you go.
David and I have a little chat.
What up, David?
Yes, I love him. He is helping me get my life back. I do that on my lunch break, and I usually sometimes I'll go to McDonald's and eat alone, and my mom thinks that's weird, but it's when I like forget when I don't have a lunch or something, like
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll go to Dunkin' Donuts.
When you don't have a lunch, you'll eat alone, or just saying you go to McDonald's?
No, I'll go to Dunkin', or I'll go to McDonald's, and I for some reason I have a huge pet peeve, like not even a pet peeve, but I can't stand going through drive-thrus and eating in your car. Like when it's like takeout, so I have to go in. I like prop my phone up. I listen to SNL, or I watch SNL skits, and I eat my McDonald's alone. And people stare at me. They're like, "Who's the man in the dress shirt eating alone at table 143?" I have a specific table.
Okay, yeah. We're creatures of habit.
Yes, for sure.
And you just said you have a thing about not going through drive-thrus and sitting in the car. I said that I do that most mornings when I work the furniture bank. It is what it is.
Well, Dunkin' Donuts I feel like is a little different. Like I don't like having a full meal like that I would otherwise really, really want to. Like McDonald's is my like it's incredible. But what time do you take lunch?
What time do I take lunch? Well, so again, it depends. If I'm working the furniture bank that morning, then it's when I'm done, because usually that's between 12 and 12:30. If I'm working Children's Hospital and I'm remote, then it's very much flexible. It depends on if I'm very project oriented. I'm not like time oriented. So if I'm working on a project, I want to kind of finish it, what I'm doing, and then I'll take lunch. If I'm in the office at Children's Hospital, it kind of depends on when I need to be in clinic talking to recruiting patients. So if there's appointments, say at like 10, 11, 12, then I won't take lunch until 1. or sometimes I don't think they normally schedule it at 12. I think 12 is like the normal lunch hour in clinics, but yeah, it depends on when patients are scheduled.
Yeah, seeing patients, I couldn't work at a hospital. That would stress me out too much. Um,
Stress your
so
patients.
I give you credit. Yeah.
Well, I'm not
But
seeing the patients. Let's remember.
no, I know, but
The
like,
doctor is, and then the doctor comes up to me and says, "Oh, they're interested in the study," and I go, "Great, let me put my glasses on and let's go." My blue light
yeah,
glasses.
yeah, that stresses me out. I have blue light glasses too, provided to me by the American Banking Association.
Oh, benefits.
My pro tip for people out there: this is probably not healthy, but I try and take lunch late. So like recently, I've been trying to go work till 3.
Yeah.
Because then I'll take my lunch till 4 and I'll only have an hour of work left. And
I
it's a
understand
great
that logic.
feeling.
I've
It's a
thought
great
about that.
feeling.
Yeah.
I used to take it at like 12:30 and that was like cutting the day in half, and I had never had a lunch break. So cuz like you don't get that at the restaurant. You just stuff your face in the kitchen every time you go back there. But so I was like, "Oh, this is fine." But then I started taking it later and later, and then I took it at 12 the other day because I needed to like call the dealership or something. It was the worst experience of my life because I came back and I had 4 hours after having like a week of 1 hour left. It was the worst thing I've ever done. That was, you want to talk preying on your own downfall. That was it right there.
Do you have like I have a go-to lunch that I just I love. Like I could have a turkey wrap or a turkey sub or a turkey sandwich with lettuce, pickles, mayo, and American cheese. I'm sorry, Mairead, I know you don't like mayo.
I like mayo. It's okay. Tom doesn't like mayo either.
With like that sandwich, the wrap or whatever, with chips and some sort of drink. It doesn't matter what the drink is, but the chips in the sandwich I could have every single day for lunch for the rest of my life, and I would be fine. Is there like a lunch option that you? I mean, besides like McDonald's, but like, does your lunch change every day, or do you?
No. So I'm not a huge fan of cold cuts, but I bring them obviously because like what else are you gonna bring like to eat?
You bring leftovers. Like I find leftovers are best eaten for lunch.
Yes. Oh, yes, but like you can't heat them up if you're in your car unless you leave them on the seat and let them.
Well, could you heat them up in your lunchroom?
Yes, I could, but I don't do that. I did roast beef for a while with chips and like 3 Chips Ahoy cookies. I prefer the Stop and Shop has these chocolate fudge cookies with peanut butter in them, and they're so good. Anyways, they haven't had those in like a couple months, and I'm kind of sad about it, but. That's what I usually bring. I've been switching to ham recently with mustard. I'm getting experimental. We love experimenting, am I right?
Look at you.
Am I right? Am I right? Love experimenting. That's what I usually get. But in high school, people used to think I was weird, my friends included, because in freshman year, I had surgery on my mouth and I could only eat soft foods, so I started bringing rice, just rice pilaf, like Uncle Ben's, which is now Ben's original rice pilaf, and I would just eat it. And I started to really take a liking to that, to the point that once my mouth healed, for the next like 3 years, I was bringing rice pilaf with a Weaver or a Tyson chicken patty, and I would eat it, and I'd put ketchup. I would take the lid of the Tupperware, flip it over, put the ketchup on there, and eat the chicken with it. But I would also dip the rice in the chicken, and people just thought I was weird. Sometimes I brought shepherd's pie because I don't like sandwiches, or I would buy lunch because I am one of the only people I think that was obsessed with school lunches. Like I preferred them.
I don't know. My high school had pretty good school lunches.
Yeah, well, we both went to. Well, we both paid a lot to go to high school. Yeah. But I'm even talking middle school, and I used to get double orders of popcorn chicken in middle school, and they'd give me 2 trays. Because the mound of popcorn chicken I got would not allow for the mashed potatoes and the corn. So that came on a literal separate tray.
I think it's one of those situations when you're at school, at least talking from my experience, where grass is always greener. Like if I brought lunch, I'd always want like what was for lunch that day, or at least think I liked what was for lunch that day. Or if I bought lunch and someone brought something really good, like rice pilaf and a chicken patty.
It was so good.
That sounds fantastic. I don't know what it is about the pilafing of rice, but that really it makes it that much better.
It really does.
That and like, do you ever like couscous? Do you know what couscous is?
Yeah, I like couscous.
I love couscous. Rice pilaf and couscous. I don't know what they are, but I know what they are, but it just so good.
You want to hear something funny? Speaking of school lunches,
sure.
When I was at the hospital, like at when I was like doing the program for OCD, we had hamburgers on Fridays. That was what they'd give us because we weren't allowed to cook for ourselves, like because of COVID. Like they made us like it. We ordered lunch, but then like from the cafeteria. But for dinner, the counselors cooked for us because they were like no touching anything. Like it's only we weren't allowed to, which was actually very convenient. We also weren't allowed to clean up after ourselves, which was very convenient.
Yeah.
They had to clean up for us because they were being so strict. Like we had like glass separating us. But the burgers people didn't like them, but they tasted like my elementary school and middle school hamburgers that they served at my lunchroom that I used to get 2 of, and they were so good. One time they forgot to give me a hamburger and I ordered a hamburger on a Friday at the hospital and they sent me like, I don't even know, like a turkey sandwich. Devastated. It was bad. But that's my fun story. I miss the McLean hamburgers. I should go back and get
hospital food, you know?
It was
when
great.
I buy at Children's, it's like, oh, why is this so good? Like
it's good.
I know, but it's like
my
why?
Nana,
you know?
My Nana when she was in the hospital, just like not even like towards the end of her life, but just like she had a heart attack at one point. This is when I was in kindergarten, and I don't even think this was when it was, but anyways, she loved hospital food. She used to say like, "Oh, I had the best blah 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 blah," and my mom used to be like, "Are you at like a hotel? Like what?"
Yeah.
You know, like
That's something that I vividly remember after my surgery was, oh my gosh, I can't wait to look at because I was in the hospital for a few days after my surgery, right? And so I would look at the menu and be like, oh, I want this and this and this and this, and it was always so good. And at Children's Hospital, they had robots dressed as trains who delivered the food to your room.
That's cool.
Which was really cool.
That's cool. Oh. Did anybody hear that voice crack? We just went back 10 years.
What would your
yeah, my mom. We used to joke. My mom used to call it Hotel Bi Beth Israel because my Nana loved the food there. But like honestly, I would have too. Shall we jump to after work?
Yes, let's jump to after work.
All right. What do you do?
I usually get home. This is gonna sound weird, but I get home, take my belt off because I think that was the most constricting part of my work outfit. I get on my phone, my posture goes to shit, and I sit on the couch and just scroll through social media or play Candy Crush or whatever. And just basically decompress from whatever I did that day.
That's a mood, and I agree with you. That's the first thing I do when I come home is I take my clothes off and put like casual clothes on.
Yeah. I'm so lazy that I won't even do that. I'll just take the belt off, leave everything else on, untuck the shirt for sure,
right, and
just sit on the couch and become, picture my posture being a question mark, and that's what I look like on the couch. Yeah, I don't know. And then at some point, I will work out though.
Yeah, I've been starting that too.
And when I work remotely, that's the first thing I do when I'm off the clock because I feel like it separates. Okay, before the workout, I'm working, I work out, and after the workout, I'm off the clock. My brain is like, okay, I can sit on the couch, I can be casual, I can, do whatever, still be in my home. That's how I separated my day whilst still being in the same space. Yes, I just did use the word whilst.
I was going to say, did you just say whilst?
Whilst. That is a word. I think it's like
Old
English.
It is.
Yeah.
Ye old point of view.
What do? You take off your clothes and put new clothes on.
Yes. So if I didn't do ERP, which is, for those of you this is your first episode listening, it's the gold standard for OCD treatment. If I already did that at my lunch break, I will either come home, and a lot of the times I like do things on the weekdays. Like I do things with friends on the weekdays after work, not so much on the weekends, which is kind of weird. But, like, my friend Claire and I, like, have, like, a weekly routine of going to the movies. I go to the movies with Tom a lot. That was our tradition in college, and we do it less so now. I see them more with Claire, but, like, Tom and I always go to the movies still. And whenever there's, like, we will 110% be seeing Nope, which is the Jordan Peele movie we talked about last time. Sometimes I'll come, like, if I didn't do ERP, I'll do ERP, and then sometimes if it doesn't go well, I'll take a large snooze from, like, 6 to 9. Wake up sweating. Does anyone else do that? Do you do that when you take a nap? I always sweat when I'm
yeah.
Well, sometimes I go out.
bury myself under the
Me too.
heaviest blanket. So
Me too. Sometimes I'll go to dinner. I go to dinner with a lot with my friend Jenny, who is like my longest friend. I've gone to dinner. Remember when we went to dinner right from work and I went to the wrong location? It was that steakhouse.
Yes.
It was really good. Yeah, that was good.
that was good.
Jenny and I also like going to Target. Or like, sometimes I won't do anything and I'll like come home and listen to music. Like, or like go on Instagram. I just saw, speaking of music and Instagram, I don't know why I have this note specifically in this spot, but Avril Lavigne, I don't know if you saw this, took a picture on the crosswalk that she took the album cover for Let Go, which is her 2002 debut album, with the songs Complicated, Skater Boy, and I'm With You being the notable hits from that album. She just took a picture of it 20 years later. Like, she's in front of it. She's doing the same pose. And it's wild to see. It's a street in New York City. It's wild to see how... it looks like two different streets. Just the way time has changed to, like, the storefronts and everything. That was a nice ramble, but I want to keep that in there. Yeah, so that's what I do. I just kind of, like, sit home, watch YouTube, like, watch TV, watch Love, Victor. Alyssa and I just had our conversation about Love, Victor, episode 1, season 3. I said that backwards, season 3, episode 1 before this. I also have, I FaceTime a lot. Like, I have FaceTimes with Nick, my friend Nick Staker, who was on episode 13. And then we do those weekly, but on Fridays we try with, Chappie and Santino. We do Monopoly with Nick, and that's really fun. Yeah. But yeah, that's what I do before my nighttime routine. What do you do?
Well, I guess the only thing in addition to what I said earlier with the question
Oh,
mark,
you answered first. I'm so sorry.
With the question mark posture. Yeah, no, that's okay. Is my family's different families do it differently, but my family, especially during the summer now, with my siblings being home, and even when they're not, my parents and I have family dinners. Like, we all eat dinner together. That's something that's really important to us. So no matter what time that is, that's always like, we're going to eat dinner. And sometimes it doesn't work out too. It's not like something strict, but it's just something that we do. So that's something that we do. And then what I do before bed, I guess, is always just like, I could FaceTime a friend. I could talk to someone. That's the same thing.
Yeah.
You know,
what it is.
I don't know, binge watch something, whatever.
Talk to Donna.
Find a new, plan for the podcast, pray on my downfall. That's when praying on my downfall happens, I think, is
okay. All right, I'll take it. After that, I basically just shower again. I take 2 showers of making this worse. But that is the happiest place in the world for me, is showering, and I truly mean that.
You also use your phone in the shower a lot. Do other people do that? I think
I've met a lot of people. That should be a poll.
I want a poll on social media, because I don't know. I don't do that. I mean, I know phones are now water resistant and
they are
stuff, and some phones are waterproof. But
but sometimes I'll take a bath, and like I just bought this like coconut bath, like.
Well, yeah, but you're not being rained on when you're on a bath.
On me.
Like you can use your, I don't know.
Okay. Yeah. You're right. But no, I shower and then I get in bed. I go on apps that don't help my mental health, and
I need to be better about not using my phone before I go to sleep.
Yeah, and then I've since deleted all of those apps because they don't do me well. And then I go to sleep at like 12:30 sometimes. Sometimes it's earlier than that. I recommend like a 10 o'clock, but I'm a hypocrite because I don't do that. I also started going, I forgot to say this, Justin. I started going to the gym.
Did you?
Yes.
Do you have a membership?
Yeah, no, I do. With my sister, she's always gone to gyms and like she like lifts weights and stuff. So she's like showing me what to do. You can imagine what that looks like in the gym. Me, who hurt himself on a treadmill a couple months ago, lifting weights. It's very funny, I'm sure. And my family all of them laugh at me because I come home and I can't move.
I picture the SpongeBob episode where he is struggling to lift the bar with the stuffed animals.
You're not the first person that is... maybe it was you, but someone sent me that GIF. I say GIF, but I know it's GIF, whatever.
Is it, though? I don't know what it is. I say GIF.
The creator says GIF.
GIF.
The creator says GIF, but I say GIF.
Sure. Animated photos.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you have anything you want to add before we
No, I don't think so. I mean,
before we shower
guess I'm
again,
more-
get in bed, go on apps that don't
yeah.
help my mental health, and then sleep?
I had more to say than I thought I was going to.
I'm telling you, like, and I'm very interested. I would love to have guests on, like maybe multiple guests in one episode to just tell us what their routine is.
We should pretend that we're a radio show that episode and just be like, "Hi, you're calling into Point of View. What do you do?"
Yeah.
Like,
Like, did you ever have a crush on someone and just think like, what do they do in their spare time? Like, that's such a wild concept to me.
No, I never thought that. That's it.
Okay. It sounds weird.
I've
but,
had
like, you know what
crushes.
I mean.
I don't know if I've thought about what they do in their spare time.
And with that, my name is. Pull up the script for me, please. Oh no, you go first.
Well,
Your name's first.
You've
All right, my
you've
name's
gone
Nick
first
Gervasi.
before. What
Yeah,
is
I
this
have. My
happening?
name's Nick Gervasi. I don't know.
And I'm Justin Dew.
You can reach us at our email, pointofdewpodcast@gmail.com, or by sending us a voice message on our website, anchor.fm/pointofdew. Follow us on Instagram and Facebook at Point of Dew Podcast and Twitter at Point of Dew. If you enjoy our show, give us a rating or review in the Apple Podcast Store or share us with a friend or family member. We'd really appreciate it and are truly grateful for your support. As always, we hope you have a great week. Thank you for listening, and until next time, H. Oh, so sorry. Say it.
H.
Thank you.
Now I gotta figure out how to stop recording because I don't normally do this. Hold on, wait. Why am I struggling so much?